Hey everyone, I'm here with my reading rundown for January. I read 4 books this month. I liked them all. Let's get into it. So as usual, I'm going to go from the ones I liked least to the ones I liked most. The first one is Vinegar Girl by Anne Tyler. This is a modern retelling of Taming of the Shrew. I went on a deliberate hunt for modern retellings of Shakespeare, and this one came up, and it sounded interesting, and it was interesting. I rated it a 4 out of 5. I think I'm just not that big of a fan of that particular play. I have never really seen a version of it that I liked, except for 10 Things I Hate About You. But I did like that in this version, Kate Batista, who's the main character, she's written as more potentially on the spectrum somewhere. So therefore, she's not really a shrew. She's just someone who like can't always read others' emotions, and like her father's clearly that way too. So it makes like a certain kind of sense. So the basic premise is that Kate lives with her father and her younger sister, as in the play, and her father is like a scientist, and his lab assistant Piotr is going to lose his status in the country. You know, he needs like a green card, so the dad wants her to marry him. So that's like the basic premise is like them trying to get her to marry him. I thought that this was a very easy read. I flew through it and I was pretty engaged the whole time. There's a lot of like cute stuff, you know, that happens. It's not like a cutesy rom-com really, but like there's some sweet stuff that happens between the two of them. And I did also like that in the end of the book, Kate does speak to how like patriarchy hurts men too, and how Pyotr, her husband, has had a difficult life but has also suffered from his inability to express his emotions about those difficulties. So I thought that was good. What I didn't like is that I didn't feel like Pyotr did anything to merit her like forgiveness and understanding of him, except for like his occasional sweetness with her at the beginning. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It was good. It did make me think, but it's not my top book of the year. I'm just using this contour to be like the base of my eyeshadow. I really like this. It's just from Sephora. Anyway, book 2 is Sandwich by Catherine Newman, and I gave this one 4.5 stars. This book came up on a lot of like best of lists last year or for 2024, so I was excited to read it, and I definitely see like why it had a lot of accolades. I really loved this book. As an older woman, this book made me feel seen. If you're an older woman, you would probably like this. The title refers to the position one finds themselves at a certain time of life when you're in between aging parents and growing children. The book is about a family who's having their annual vacation at a rented cottage in Cape Cod that they've been doing every year. And Rocky, the main character, her college-age children and her older parents both come there for the week and they converge. And Rocky spends the week floating through joy and nostalgia and grief and anxiety and occasionally menopausal rage, which, while at times sad, was both cathartic and affirming for me. If you have any trauma around infertility or miscarriage, you might find this book difficult, but otherwise I thought it was really beautiful, funny, thoughtful, poignant, and just a delight to read. Next up was Here One Moment by Liane Moriarty, and I also rated this one 4.5 stars. Liane is at it again in this book. I don't know. I find her writing so delightful. I love her style of wholesome intrigue. That's what I call it, because it's so engaging and page-turning. At times it's tense and even sometimes suspenseful, but in the end, your soul is filled and you go off feeling better about yourself and about the world. They all have this wholesome quality, but they don't feel schmaltzy. Yeah. The book begins on a very normal average flight, heading to Sydney from Tasmania, when a very nondescript woman suddenly stands and moves down the aisle, telling each person how and when she expects they will shuffle off their mortal coil. So some people are obviously like amused, some people are anxious, some people are completely horrified. From there, the book follows a handful of the passengers from the flight as they kind of go off and deal with this prediction, exploring how this knowledge affects their lives and like the changes for the better or worse that come because of it. Really, this book is just like a beautiful character study of real people. It's a testament to how connected we all actually are, and just a reminder to live the way you want, because you never know when your time has come. And you know Nicole Kidman already picked up the rights to this, so an adaptation is forthcoming. Finally, this month I read Margot's Got Money Troubles by Rufi Thorpe, and I rated this 5 stars. This was my favorite book of January. And let me say, if you're going to read this one, I recommend the audiobook because Elle Fanning is the audiobook reader. And I really liked her conversational style. She was really good. Elle Fanning is actually also going to be starring in the adaptation, playing the titular role. It's currently in production for Apple TV, and it's also starring Nick Offerman as Margot's father, which honestly, I can't think of a better casting. So Margot was hands down my favorite female non-Hermione protagonist that I read in a while. She's only 19, and so her decisions and motivations and flaws and strengths were just chef's kiss for somebody so young. I just thought she was written really, really well. Margot is a college student excelling in English when she has a brief affair with a professor that results in a baby. And she makes the careful and thoughtful and hopeful choice to have the baby, only to find that the world is hard and people don't care, and that most would rather look down on her than lift a finger to help. Unable to find reliable childcare, she loses her job, and then 2 of her roommates move out, and she's forced to seek finances another way. Through her father, who's a retired professional wrestler, and we love Jinx, by the way, she learns that some of his female colleagues run OnlyFans accounts, and Margot tentatively looks into this and then uses her excellent writing ability and sociological savvy to create a persona and an account that, while not immediately a hit, does grow pretty steadily. So yeah, this book is a very honest and thoughtful look at how women who do this kind of work are perceived in society. As you'd expect, it would explore that, but it's also quite a fascinating look at how building an OnlyFans or any successful social media persona of any kind is incredibly difficult, time-consuming, often creepy, and also rewarding sometimes. I just think everyone should read this book. All right, and that's all for now. I'll see you in February. Bye.